Hi everyone, it's Priya again from Blue Water Immigration. We are ICCRC certified immigration consultants based in Toronto. Today I will be talking about how you can calculate your SINP points very easily yourself. So for calculating your SINP points, you have to take into consideration two factors. So the factor one basically has total of 80 points and factor two has a total of 30 points. Now, if you see for factor one, there is education, language, work experience, and age. And for factor two, you've got your job offer, for which you get 30 points, or you've got the close family relative, Saskatchewan work experience, and Saskatchewan study experience. And we will be getting into each of these in detail in this video. So when you have calculated your points for factor one and factor two separately, you then add them to get your total SINP score. And we'll again be talking about how this is done in the coming slides. Education and training really is the first point, the first category under factor one. So as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. Depending on what education you have, whether it's a master's or a doctorate degree, or a bachelor's or trade certification, a 2-year diploma or a certificate, you get the corresponding points for that. Now, a lot of people ask me, Priya, I have 2 master's degree. Do I get 23 times 2 points? The answer is no, you only get 23 points, which is the maximum. Someone else asked me, Priya, I have a 2-year diploma and a bachelor's. So does that mean I get the 20 points plus the 15 points? Again, the answer is no. You only get points for your highest level of education. So in this case, you will only get 20 points. Now for work experience, I really like SINP because you actually get more number of points for more number of years of work experience, which is great. The one thing that you do have to remember here is there are no half years, in the sense if you have 5.5 years of work experience, it'll only be considered as 5. So even if you had 5 years and 11 months of work experience, it's still considered as 5 unless you want to wait for one more month, get the full 6 years, and then apply stating that you have the 6 years of experience. So in the past 5 years before you apply, if you have the full 5 years, you get the full 10 points, which is awesome. And from the 6 to 10 years before you apply, if you have the full 5 years, even for then, you would get the full 5 points. And then if it gets any less number of years of experience, you get less number of points. So what I'll do is below this video, I'll give you a link where it'll be so easy for you to look at how many years of work experience you have and how many corresponding points you can actually get, which will really help. Now for the language, to calculate your IELTS and SILP scores and converting it into a CLB, I will share a link below this video that will easily allow you to look at what your scores are for listening, writing, reading, and speaking, and converting it into a corresponding CLB. And once you have that, it's pretty easy for you to look at this chart and figure out what your scores are going to be. So for the age, very similar to the work experience, there are no half years, in the sense, say you are 45.5 years old, you will still be considered 45 until you turn 46 on your birthday. So then you come into a totally different category. So once you know your age and you know which category you fall into, it's pretty straightforward for you to go ahead and calculate your scores here as well. So whatever we talked about until now was all for factor one, and you could get a maximum of 80 points for factor one, like I said before. Now for factor two, these are the different criteria for which you could actually get points. Now the total for factor two is 30 points. So you could get these 30 points either by having a job offer in Saskatchewan, for which you get the full 30 points, or you could have a family relative, you could have some past work experience in Saskatchewan, or you could have some past student experience in Saskatchewan. Now you have to remember that if you have a job offer and you have a close family relative in Saskatchewan, you're not going to get like 50 points because it's 30 plus 20 is 50. That's not the case. So you can only get a maximum of 30. Okay. Now, close family relative, who is a close family relative? Anybody who is an aunt, uncle, nephew, niece, your brothers, sisters, parents, grandparents, in-laws of all these relationships, they're all considered close family relative. For past work experience, you should have worked for at least 12 months in the past 5 years in Saskatchewan, and you should have worked while on a valid work permit. Okay. And for past student experience, you should have been a student for at least 12 months, that is one full academic year in Saskatchewan for you to get the 5 points. So in total, 30 points. So if you count factor 1 and factor 2, so it's really 80 points in total for factor 1 and 30 points in total for factor 2. So you could get a maximum of 110 points. But let me say this, most people, okay, majority of people we work with, majority of people who actually apply to SINP really get points just for factor 1. They get 0 points for factor 2 because typically they don't have a job offer, they don't have any relatives, they don't have any work experience in Saskatchewan or any past student experience in Saskatchewan. So, just note that you could really just get a maximum of 80 points for factor 1. And that's okay too because the minimum requirement is 60. So anything over that, you definitely qualify for SINP. Thank you for watching. Please like and share this video if you found it useful. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And I look forward to connecting with you.